Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe when the fight was due to take place in Saudi and you guys were dealing with them, the fighters, i.e. Tyson and Alexander, were negotiating their own deals with Saudi. Is that correct?
No, we were negotiating our deal, and they were negotiating their deal.
But in terms of Wembley, obviously there's a pot, and your guys just showed it was a different deal in Saudi, wasn't it?
What was happening in Saudi is they'd already done a deal with Usyk. He'd already signed a contract with them. We were negotiating for Tyson, but it just was not going to happen. So we are where we are, and we've agreed to.
Obviously there's a pot, and your guys just showed it was a different deal in Saudi, wasn't it?
What was happening in Saudi is they'd already done a deal with Usyk. He'd already signed a contract with them. We were negotiating for Tyson, but it just was not going to happen. So we are where we are, and we've agreed terms, and we jointly will promote this fight between all of them.
Oh no, people. Oh no. Oh no. Team Tyson Scary fans are going through it right now. That's what we do know. Oh no, Frank let slip. What's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, we just heard there from your man's Bricktop, fresh out of Snatch 2000. Yeah, that's not... Listen, end of the day, man, Frank Warren... What's the guy's name who made the film? I've got the guy's name, so next UK directed on. Big directed on. He put Frank Warren on in that film. Bricktop. Played it role. Listen, couldn't have picked someone better. Anyway, cut into the chase. Even though Bricktop, normally he's quite coy. Normally, he plays his role. Yeah... Listen, Bricktop, he ain't no snitch. Bricktop and Frank Warren. That's why Frank Warren was cast in the film Snatch. Yeah, he was cast in that film because Frank's been shot before and he held it down. However, he let slip right now. Yeah, some IFL interviewer, Donny, caught this dude slipping. Frank Warren exposes Tyson Scary losing his pen. His pen's been lost. That's what it is. What gets me is the fact that I told people. I'm not saying I'm the big oracle, yeah, but it was well known, well documented. Usyk signed the Fury Saudi fight. That's what's been happened in December. Yeah, this fight could have been on in December for March 3rd. That's just what it was. Never mind going on holiday in middle of January, Tyson Fury style, sneaking off and getting caught slipping by the Sun newspaper. No, Usyk signed to fight Fury in Saudi in December, and Team Fury just let slip that was the case. Yeah, now people can say, oh, well, it don't matter now, there's no point crying over spilt milk. There is point crying over spilt milk, because guess what, the fight as of today is still not signed. So the question is, why is Usyk signing to fight in Saudi and Team Fury were not? Yeah, this for me just don't slide at any level, people, not even a little bit. And to hear a team, like, bear in mind, people, yeah, imagine it was the other way. Imagine Tyson Fury had signed to fight Usyk in Saudi, and Usyk, for whatever reason, had decided not to sign. I can't get my head around that. And what gets me now, and that's what worries me. That's why I don't think this fight gets over the line. I just can't, because, listen, from what I understand from the Saudis, yeah, from my deep inside sources, aka Derek Chisora, he says, essentially, the Saudis wanted to pay Usyk and Fury 50-50. That's how they saw this fight. Whether it was on the basis of Usyk having 3 belts. I'm not sure. I don't know what it is, but whenever people mention Usyk, they always mention something about, what's that? They mention, Usyk's a Christian from what I understand, but they always mention, what's that thing called? Ramadan. I don't know why they do, but anyway, what I'm getting at is, some people have implied that Usyk, he has some of the Saudi links. From that side of things, the religious side of things. I don't know why, I don't know how, but that's what some people say. Hence why Team Fury weren't getting what they wanted from the Saudis. The Saudis see Usyk as some sort of brethren. I don't know to what extent or why, but either way, whatever way you want to cook it, whether it's more belts, whether there's some religious affiliations, the Saudis were only prepared to pay Fury as much as Usyk. And Fury was not down for that. However, linking back to my point of why that potentially has implications for the next fight, or for this Wembley fight, April 26th, that's definitely on, allegedly, yeah, is the fact that, I can tell you now, 50% of that Saudi bag is probably 50% or more than 70% of the Wembley bag. That Wembley bag's, and that's what Chisora's been saying. Chisora's been saying for a while. The Saudis were laughing at Fury, saying, listen, man, You might as well. It's all well and good out here trying to cut Usyk, but with all due respect, we've got you cucked. The Saudis were laughing at Tyson Fury, saying, you ain't got nowhere else to go. Yeah, you can take this 50-50, which is probably going to be what, I don't know, whatever number you want. 50% of a big pot is better than 70% of a little pot. And plus, there's risk associated with the Wembley show. You don't know how many tickets you're going to sell. You don't know how many pay-per-views you're going to sell. The Saudi thing's guaranteed locked in. You ain't got to sell a lick of anything. So there's so many unknowns here. So is Tyson Fury going to fight Usyk on a 5-week camp, messy 5-week camp, April 26th, for less money than he was offered? That's a fact, people. December, he could have got more. Now, it might be the case that Fury's not bothered about the absolute money. It was more of a principle thing for him. Is Tyson Fury principled? Is he principled enough to say, listen, this was never about the money. This was always about me being held as in a higher standard than Usyk. And if that's the case, this fight has a chance of happening. That's the only way it has a chance of happening. If Fury really is about the ultimate bottom line figure, then the fight ain't going to happen until end of the year, at best, when the Saudis come back around again. But knowing how potentially weak that leaves Team Fury from a negotiation point of view, bear in mind, the Saudis, they've got money to burn. They could have just said, you know what, we want this fight, let's throw some money. But the fact the Saudis have showed restraint, what happens next time in December? Like, if I was the Saudis, bear in mind, the way Chizora's come across, it's been quite flippant, like as if the Saudis were irritated by Tyson Fury's response, which makes sense. I did videos on it at the time. Team Fury were out here saying, oh, you better show us the money, get your money out. That's not how it works over there. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, they'll pay to put a big nice warm dump on your chest, but you know, but the whole point of that is, when you get dump on your chest, that's a submissive act. Yeah, their man want you submissive. They want these big celebrity dudes to go over there and submit to some next zesty cat with a whole bunch of coins. That's the shtick they're on. You understand? It's about being submissive. I want to submit a big dominant world heavyweight champion. That's the shtick they're on. Yeah, that gets their man off. Yeah? So, Fury tried to pay a power play. Oh, you'll do this, you'll do that. Yeah, 500 million, yeah. And he ends up with jack all. So if Fury does circle back around thinking, oh, you know what, I'll come and collect that 50% now, there's a chance the Saudis now are going to say, listen, we know the fact that you've sacked off the Wembley date tells us that you're desperate now. So that, what was 50%, which may have been, for example, 50 million, you can forget about that. It's now 40, or it's now 35. Oops. So, in a way, that might actually make the odds of this fight happening in Wembley more likely. But then again, Team Fury aren't maybe thinking that far ahead. Ultimately, this just goes to show, I think this may end up being a bit like Wilder and AJ. Yeah? Not to the extent. The Wilder and AJ bag is the ultimate bumble. No, I've never seen someone bumble a bag like Deontay Wilder did with that 140 million DAZN deal. I'll never get... Honestly, truth be known, that keeps me up at night, knowing Wilder, he took about 3 or 4 mil to fight Dominic Bumzeel on Showtime for the same fight. DAZN offered something like 21, 22 or 20, something like that, for the same fight. A 1-round fight. I think he threw 1 punch in the fight. Wilder, I think, what was it, it's not going to be rocket science. Wilder somehow, I think he slung in with a big 1-2. Just winged it in. Legit, I think Wilder threw 2 punches in that fight, and that was all she wrote. You took 3 mil instead of 20. Anyway, the point I'm getting at, this could end up being one of them ones. Team Fury overplayed their hand, and now they're up SHITS creek with no paddle. Not even a little bit of a paddle. Now, from a fan's point of view, I mean, really, we just want this thing to happen. But what's the December debacle's shown is that us wanting it to happen and anything else that matters, anything else, morally speaking, is irrelevant. We need Tyson Fury to be moraled. Hopefully some sort of moral start kicking in. Now, there's a good signs in as much as, well, YB's brought the trainer in, and yeah, that's potentially for optics. Let's not forget that, people. Fury was very infuriated when Usyk came out and said, yeah, I'll take you 70-30. Almost as if he wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? So at that point, when now Usyk's called his bluff, Fury has to make it look like it's going to happen. You know, he can't just come out now and blatantly, I've moved it again. He tried, in fact, no, tell you, like, he can, he tried that. He tried that with the rematch clause, and that didn't go down too well. Even TalkSport semi-turned on him. So on that basis, has Fury been orchestrating, look, I'm training with Joe Parker. And even that was, I did videos on that the other day, I was all a bit off key as well. Oh yeah, look, I'm training really hard. Best camp ever. Point, well, the fight don't happen. Oh, I was having the best camp ever. I was about to knock him out. That's what's coming next. Oh, I told you, it was my best camp. Oh, Usyk's ducking. Yeah, there's no way I would have ducked because I had my best camp. I had my best camp on the first day. Wait a minute. No, kid you not. I think it was the second day of camp. On the second day of Tyson Fury's reported camp, he was telling us it was his best camp ever. That just to me don't sit right. Yeah, you don't have to be a sports science PhD to know that you don't know anything in day 2 of a camp. You just don't. It's not physiologically possible to know anything about your shape on day 2 of a camp. It's just not. Maybe, you can report your psychological state. I've never been this good on day 2 of a camp before, but you can't say it's the best camp ever. Anyway, that has relevance because when someone's being overly gassing it, you have to question, why is Fury gassing us like this? The upside will be, if the fight flops, there's the Fury Man fans, he was desperate, he's gagging for it, YB, look, he had the best camp ever, he was just about to fill Usyk in. Usyk, the rabbit teeth, whatever, Anyway, Team Usyk said they've sent their just put a video out. Team Usyk said the final contract's out there. Team Fury said some good news is coming soon. I'll believe it when I see it. But this must be documented. Even if that happens, we must know that Saudi deal. In fact, no, it's important. The whole reason this video must exist is that if the fight doesn't happen, it has to be known Usyk agreed and Fury didn't. Because you best believe this one flops. It wasn't us. You know that. And it's important to know that Team Fury have just confirmed it. And I don't believe Frank Warren meant to let this out. Yeah, Usyk signed and we didn't. Where are they doing that one at? Especially when, as I've explained, wait a minute, Fury, Usyk signed and Fury didn't. And now you want us to believe that Fury's just about to sign a contract which is less than the one he was offered in December. That's problematic, to say the least. Yeah, if you're offered 40 mil in December and now you got 30 mil on the table, please forgive me for not being all in, banking on this fight happening. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Team Fury, Frank Warren, Bricktop from Snatch 2000, exposing Tyson Fury and confirming Team Usyk were gagging for this. They've been gagging for this fight. Smash the like button. Oh yeah, big shout out to my doggy. My doggy Riyadh, big man coins coming through and boosting them up. Respect, General. And your man, the YB, will be back 100%, no doubt about it.